After 40, the body begins to change in ways that are subtle at first, but become noticeable with time. And these changes are not signs of weakness or aging, but signals that the body requires a different style of care compared to earlier years. Metabolism slows down naturally, meaning the body burns fewer calories at rest than it did in the 20s and 30s. And because of this, the same foods and the same portion sizes that once caused no weight gain can now lead to gradual fat storage, especially around the belly. Hormonal shifts also begin to occur, both in men and women, and these shifts can influence energy levels, mood, appetite, sleep quality, and even how the body distributes fat. Muscle mass starts to decline as well, a process called sarcopenia, which is completely normal but can be accelerated by inactivity or poor diet. Losing muscle does not just affect strength, it directly impacts metabolism because muscle is the body's most metabolically active tissue. When muscle decreases, calorie burn decreases. And this is why many people over 40 feel like they gain weight faster even when eating the same amount. Joints also begin to require more attention because cartilage slowly becomes thinner with age, which is why stiffness in the morning or mild discomfort in the knees or lower back becomes more common. None of this is a sign that the body is failing. It is simply the body saying, "Take care of me differently now." These changes are not something to fear, but something to understand, because the moment you understand them, you gain control. Instead of trying to force your body to respond the way it did at 25, you shift your approach so your routine works with your body instead of against it. And when you do that, the body responds quickly and positively. The problem many people face is that they try to use the same habits they relied on in their younger years, skipping meals to lose weight, eating heavy dinners, doing intense workouts without proper recovery, sleeping late and waking early, ignoring joint health, relying on sugar and caffeine for energy, and not drinking enough water. All these habits become harder for the body to handle after 40 because the body's internal systems are now more sensitive, more responsive, and more in need of balance and consistency. In your 20s, you could survive on little sleep, random meals, and fast food without feeling much of an impact. After 40, sleep becomes a major factor in weight, mood, and overall health. A night of poor sleep can slow down metabolism the next day, increase cravings for sugar and carbs, spike stress hormones like cortisol, and make you feel more exhausted even after eating. Cortisol plays a big role here because elevated cortisol encourages the body to hold on to fat, especially around the belly. When stress increases and sleep decreases, cortisol rises. And this is one of the hidden reasons why many people over 40 feel like they're stuck in their weight loss journey. Understanding this link helps you realize that health after 40 is not just about what you eat or how much you exercise. It becomes a full body system of balance involving diet, sleep, stress, hydration, and movement. Another shift is in digestion. The digestive system slows down slightly with age, which means heavy, oily, fried, or overly processed foods may feel harder to digest, causing bloating, discomfort, acidity, or lethargy. This doesn't mean you can't enjoy your favorite foods, it just means the body responds better when given cleaner, simpler meals more often. When digestion slows, nutrient absorption can also be affected. And this is why nutrient-rich foods matter even more after 40. Foods that give vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and healthy fats without putting stress on the digestive system. People often underestimate how much digestion impacts energy, sleep, mood, and even motivation to exercise,
especially after 40 when the system is more delicate and sensitive. Energy levels also change. It's not that the body becomes weaker, it's that the body becomes more selective about where energy is spent. If your body is constantly fighting poor sleep, high stress, dehydration, or lack of movement, you will naturally feel drained. But when you support the body correctly, when you give it the right nutrients, good sleep, steady hydration, and consistent movement, the energy returns, often better than before. Many people in their 40s, 50s, and 60s report feeling stronger and more energetic than they ever did in their younger years, simply because they finally started giving their body the kind of care it truly needed. Your hormones also begin to prefer stability over shock. Extreme diets, sudden fasting, intense calorie cuts, or aggressive workouts can throw your hormones off balance. Instead of quick results, you end up with fatigue, hunger, irritability, and slowed progress. The body after 40 thrives on routines, consistent eating times, moderate, balanced meals, regular movement, gentle recovery, and stable sleep patterns. When you give your body predictability, it rewards you with energy, fat loss, strength, clarity, and improved overall health. Cardiovascular health also becomes increasingly important. The heart has worked for over 4 decades nonstop, and it needs support through regular movement like walking and strength training. Blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugar can all become more sensitive to lifestyle choices after 40. A diet high in processed foods and a sedentary lifestyle can impact these numbers quickly, while even small improvements in daily habits can bring them back into a healthy range. The body at this age responds incredibly well to walking, balanced meals, and proper hydration because these habits help regulate blood flow, oxygen levels, and overall organ function. The immune system also changes. It doesn't weaken drastically, but it becomes more dependent on good nutrition, proper sleep, and low stress. This is why adults over 40 who eat nutrient-rich foods, move daily, and sleep well handle illness better than those who don't. The immune system is closely connected to digestion, sleep, hydration, and stress, and when these areas are balanced, immunity stays strong. And perhaps the most important shift after 40 is mental. You have more responsibilities, more pressure, and sometimes less time for yourself. Stress becomes a silent factor, affecting weight, sleep, digestion, energy, and even motivation. But this is also the age where you become wiser, more self-aware, and more capable of building sustainable habits. You no longer need shortcuts or quick fixes. You need routines that help you live strong and healthy for the next several decades. When you understand that your body is not slowing down because it's aging, but because it's asking for a better quality of care, you change how you treat it. You realize you don't need to fight your body, you need to work with it.
A high-protein, whole food diet becomes incredibly important after 40 because this is the age where the body naturally starts losing muscle mass, slowing metabolism, and becoming more sensitive to the quality of food you give it. Protein is not just for building big muscles. It is the nutrient responsible for repairing tissues, maintaining strength, supporting hormones, and keeping metabolism active. When you don't eat enough protein after 40, your body begins to break down muscle to compensate. And when muscle decreases, fat storage increases even if your calorie intake stays the same. This is why so many adults over 40 feel like they are gaining weight faster than before, even when they haven't changed their eating habits. Protein helps stop this cycle by preserving lean muscle mass, which in turn keeps metabolism strong and helps the body burn calories more effectively throughout the day. This is also why a protein-rich breakfast is one of the best changes you can make. Starting your day with eggs, Greek yogurt,
oats with nuts, lentils, cottage cheese, or a simple homemade protein smoothie stabilizes your blood sugar, reduces cravings, and keeps you full for hours without the crash that comes from sugary or carb-heavy breakfasts. Whole foods play an equally important role because the body over 40 handles natural, unprocessed foods much better than heavy, oily, fried, or packaged meals. Whole foods contain fiber, vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and natural enzymes that support digestion, heart health, immunity, and sustained energy. When you switch from processed foods to whole foods like fruits, vegetables, legumes, nuts, seeds, whole grains, and lean meats, you're not just eating healthier, you're reducing inflammation, improving digestion, and helping your organs function more efficiently. Inflammation is something most people don't think about, but it becomes a major factor after 40. Processed foods, refined sugar, fried snacks, and excessive bread or sweets create internal inflammation, which leads to joint pain, fatigue, slower metabolism, and stubborn belly fat. Whole foods help calm this inflammation, making your body feel lighter, more energetic, and more flexible. Portion control becomes another important part of eating after 40. Your metabolism slows slightly, meaning the body doesn't need as many calories as before, but it does need higher quality nutrients. This is why eating huge meals or overeating at night makes digestion harder, affects sleep, and leads to weight gain. The best approach is to eat balanced meals that include protein, fiber, and healthy fats while keeping carbs in moderation, not eliminating them, just balancing them. Carbs are not the enemy. Your body needs them for energy, but the type of carbs matters. Whole grains like brown rice, quinoa, whole wheat roti, oats, and barley digest slowly and provide long-lasting energy, while processed carbs like white bread, pastries, sugary cereals, and packaged snacks digest quickly, spike blood sugar, and leave you feeling tired and hungry again. Another major part of diet after 40 is hydration. Most adults don't drink enough water, and dehydration becomes more noticeable with age. Even mild dehydration can cause fatigue, headaches, joint pain, slow digestion, and increased hunger. Many people mistake thirst for hunger and end up eating more when their body actually needs water. Drinking enough water throughout the day improves digestion, supports metabolism, keeps joints lubricated, and makes your skin look fresher. Warm water in the morning helps kickstart digestion, while drinking small amounts consistently throughout the day keeps energy levels stable. Adding herbal teas, lemon water, or infused water can also make hydration easier and more enjoyable. Dinner is the meal that most adults over 40 need to adjust. Heavy dinners, especially late at night, lead to poor digestion, acid reflux, disturbed sleep, and stubborn belly fat. Instead of eating the largest meal at night, your dinner should be light, simple, and easy to digest. Grilled chicken, fish, soups, lentils, vegetables, or a light whole grain wrap work better than oily curries, heavy fried meals, or large plates of rice. Finishing dinner at least 2 to 3 hours before bedtime gives your digestive system enough time to process the meal so your body can relax and recover overnight. You wake up feeling lighter, more energetic, and less bloated. Sugar intake is another key factor. After 40, your body becomes more sensitive to sugar spikes, and consuming too much sugar or sweet snacks can lead to fatigue, weight gain, and increased cravings. Instead of completely cutting sugar, aim for natural sources like fruits, dates, dark chocolate in moderation, or small homemade desserts. These satisfy sweet cravings without causing the dramatic blood sugar jumps that processed sweets do. Reducing packaged sugar also helps regulate hormones, especially insulin and cortisol, which are directly linked to belly fat and energy levels. Healthy fats also become important because they support brain function, joint health, and hormone balance. Foods like avocado, olive oil, nuts, seeds, fatty fish like salmon, or even a small amount of DC ghee are beneficial when consumed in moderation. These fats keep you full, reduce inflammation, and stabilize energy. Avoiding unhealthy fats like deep-fried foods, margarine, or hydrogenated oils are essential because these fats tighten arteries, increase cholesterol, and slow circulation, things the body becomes more sensitive to after 40. One of the most important parts of eating after 40 is consistency. Skipping meals or eating irregularly sends mixed signals to the body, slows metabolism, and increases fat storage. Eating balanced meals at regular intervals trains your metabolism to stay active. Having a small, healthy snack between lunch and dinner, like nuts, yogurt, fruit, or hummus with vegetables, keeps your energy steady and prevents overeating at dinner. When your meals are balanced and consistent, your body begins to trust the routine, your hunger becomes more controlled, and your metabolism remains steady. Digestion plays a huge role in how you feel every day. A diet rich in fiber from fruits, vegetables, and whole grains keeps your digestive system healthy and prevents constipation, bloating, and sluggishness. Fiber also helps balance blood sugar, lower cholesterol, and support a healthy gut, something incredibly important after 40, because gut health influences immunity, mood, sleep, and even weight loss. Adding probiotic-rich foods like yogurt or fermented foods further supports a healthy gut environment, improving digestion and nutrient absorption. The combination of a high-protein diet, whole foods, hydration, balanced portions, healthy fats, and consistent meals creates a powerful foundation for health after 40. It supports muscle maintenance, boosts metabolism, reduces inflammation, improves digestion, stabilizes energy, and enhances sleep. All things that become more important as the body ages. When you nourish your body with the right foods, you notice changes in your energy, mood, strength, and overall well-being within weeks. Your food choices become the fuel that either slows down the aging process or accelerates it. And a balanced, nutrient-rich diet helps you stay stronger, leaner, and more energetic as the years go on.
Daily movement becomes one of the most powerful tools for maintaining health, strength, and vitality after 40, because the body responds differently to physical activity at this stage of life. When you're younger, you can remain inactive for days and still feel energetic. But after 40, the body begins to lose muscle more rapidly if it isn't being used. Joints stiffen more easily, flexibility decreases, balance becomes slightly less stable, and metabolism slows down when movement is missing from daily routines. This doesn't mean the body becomes weak. It means the body thrives when given consistent, gentle, and purposeful movement. Even the smallest amounts of movement can create big changes. Walking, stretching, and simple strength training become essential because they don't just burn calories, they protect your muscles, support your joints, improve circulation, and help maintain a healthy weight without stressing the body. Walking is one of the simplest yet most effective exercises for anyone over 40. It strengthens the heart, improves blood flow, reduces stress, supports digestion, and activates major muscle groups without putting pressure on the joints. A daily walk of 20 to 30 minutes can dramatically improve cardiovascular health and reduce the risk of diabetes and high blood pressure. Many people underestimate walking because it seems too simple. But simplicity is exactly what makes it powerful. Walking consistently helps clear the mind, balance hormones, and improve breathing capacity. For someone who has not been active in years, even a 10-minute walk can spark improvements in energy levels, sleep, mood, and metabolism. The body doesn't need aggressive workouts. It needs consistent movement that it can handle comfortably. But walking alone, while beneficial, doesn't fully address the changes that happen after 40. The body also needs strength training, because strength is the foundation of healthy aging. Strength training does not mean lifting heavy weights. It means using your own body weight or light resistance bands to activate major muscle groups. Muscles act like the engine of your metabolism, and when you strengthen them, you naturally burn more calories throughout the day, even while resting. Simple strength exercises like squats, wall push-ups, glute bridges, step-ups, or seated leg lifts are enough to maintain muscle mass, support bone density, and improve balance.
After 40, muscle loss speeds up unless you actively prevent it. When muscle mass decreases, the body becomes more prone to fatigue, stubborn fat, and joint discomfort. Strength training reverses this process by building lean muscle that protects your joints, stabilizes your body, and improves your ability to perform daily tasks with ease. Even if someone has never done strength training before, starting small can make a massive difference. For example, doing 10 slow squats a day can gradually strengthen the legs, hips, and lower back. Wall push-ups help train the chest, shoulders, and arms without the need for a gym or heavy equipment. Glute bridges support the lower back and strengthen the core, preventing back pain, a common complaint after 40. When these exercises are done consistently, they become a shield that protects your body from injuries, improves your posture, and keeps your movement smooth and controlled. Stretching is another part of movement that becomes incredibly important after 40. Muscles and tendons naturally become tighter with age, especially when someone spends long hours sitting or working in the same position. Tight muscles reduce mobility, increase joint strain, and make simple actions like bending, reaching, or twisting feel uncomfortable. Gentle stretching loosens the muscles, improves flexibility, and enhances circulation. Even 5 minutes of stretching in the morning or before bed can ease stiffness, improve posture, and reduce muscle tension. Stretching the hamstrings, calves, hips, chest, and back helps maintain the fluidity of movement that the body needs to stay young and active. Movement also plays a huge role in managing stress, which becomes more influential after 40. Stress affects hormones like cortisol, and high cortisol levels can lead to stubborn belly fat, low energy, poor sleep, and mood swings. Daily movement, especially walking and stretching, naturally lowers cortisol and boosts endorphins, the body's good feel chemicals. This helps improve emotional well-being, mental clarity, and the ability to handle daily challenges. When someone moves daily, they feel lighter, not only physically but mentally. Their mood improves, their sleep becomes deeper, and their outlook becomes more positive. One of the biggest benefits of daily movement after 40 is improved joint health. Many people begin to experience knee pain, lower back pain, neck stiffness, or swollen joints at this age, often because of prolonged sitting, poor posture, or lack of muscle support around the joints. Movement increases blood flow to these areas, delivering nutrients that help reduce inflammation and promoting the production of synovial fluid, the natural lubrication inside the joints. Strengthening the muscles around the joints, especially the hips, glutes, and core, provides support that reduces pressure on the knees and spine. Over time, movement reduces chronic pain and makes daily activities much easier. Another key element of daily movement is balance and coordination. After 40, the body's natural balance systems begin to decline slightly, but this decline is not permanent. It can be reversed with simple exercises. Step-ups, single leg stands, gentle yoga poses, or light core exercises improve stability, help prevent falls, and keep your movements confident and controlled. Good balance becomes especially important as someone enters their 50s and beyond, because it protects against injuries and keeps the body functional in the long term. The important thing to remember is that movement does not need to be intense or complicated. The body over 40 responds best to routines that are simple, safe, and sustainable. The goal is not to exhaust the body, but to activate it. Even activities like gardening, cleaning, dancing, cycling, or playing with kids can count as daily movement as long as the body stays active. Every step, every stretch, every controlled movement contributes to overall health and improvements in the way the body feels. Consistency matters more than duration or intensity. A 15-minute daily routine is more beneficial than an occasional 1-hour workout. The human body adapts to what it does repeatedly. If you move regularly, your body becomes stronger, more flexible, more balanced, and more energetic. If you stay inactive, the opposite happens. Muscles weaken, joints stiffen, metabolism slows, and fatigue increases.
The beautiful thing is that it's never too late to start. Even if someone has been inactive for years, the body responds quickly when movement is reintroduced. Within weeks, strength increases, energy rises, and stiffness decreases. Movement after 40 is also about preserving independence. Strong muscles, flexible joints, and good balance ensure that you can live your daily life with ease, climbing stairs, carrying groceries, bending, lifting, walking briskly, sitting and standing comfortably. These abilities are often taken for granted when young, but after 40, they become signs of good overall health and functional fitness. Daily movement also helps maintain a healthy weight without strict dieting. When the metabolism slows with age, exercise helps fuel calorie burn and prevents fat from accumulating. Strength training especially boosts metabolism by increasing muscle mass, allowing you to burn calories even at rest. This makes weight management much easier, even with small lifestyle changes. In the end, the body after 40 thrives when you blend walking, strength training, and stretching into the daily routine. These simple movements rebuild strength, support joints, improve flexibility, protect the heart, reduce stress, and keep the body's systems functioning smoothly. Movement becomes medicine, nourishment, therapy, and rejuvenation all at once, and when practiced daily, it helps you age with strength, confidence, and vitality.
When you really think about it, the biggest mistake people make after 40 is believing that major changes require major effort. But in reality, the most powerful transformations come from small decisions made consistently. And that's something most people don't realize until they've struggled long enough to see the truth. The body at 40 isn't slow, it's simply more sensitive to inconsistency. So every skipped meal, every late night snack, every "I'll start tomorrow" has a bigger impact than it did in your 20s or early 30s. Small habits either work for you or against you. And once you understand that, your entire approach to health changes. Think about how often people skip breakfast assuming they'll save calories. But the moment you skip that first meal, your blood sugar becomes unstable, cravings increase, and your body holds on to fat because it thinks you're underfueling. A simple act like eating a balanced breakfast with protein and fiber stabilizes your entire day, reduces cravings, and prevents overeating later. So something that looks small actually shifts your metabolism in a big way. The same thing happens with processed foods. People say, it's just a biscuit, it's just a packet of chips, it's just one sweet. But after 40, the body processes highly processed carbs differently. Insulin spikes more easily, and fat storage increases much faster. Reducing processed foods even slightly, switching from white bread to whole grain, from sugary tea to less sugar, from fried snacks to roasted ones, creates a visible difference in energy, weight, and digestion. Portion control becomes another huge, small habit with massive impact. You don't need to starve yourself, you just need to eat 10 to 20% less than you used to. Your body after 40 needs fuel, not overload. Even simple changes like reducing dinner portion size, eating slower, chewing properly, stopping when you feel satisfied instead of stuffed, all signal your body to digest better and store less fat. Consistency and timing also plays a major role. When you eat at roughly the same times every day, your metabolism stays active and stable. When your eating pattern is random, lunch at 1 p.m. one day and 4 p.m. the next, your body stays confused. Your hunger hormones fluctuate, and you lose control over what and how much you eat. A small, steady routine is far more powerful than any diet. Hydration is another underestimated small habit. Most people after 40 walk around half dehydrated without realizing it. Dehydration slows metabolism, increases fatigue, causes headaches, triggers cravings, and makes digestion sluggish. Just drinking enough water, not gallons, just enough, improves skin, joints, energy levels, and appetite control. Small habit, big shift. Even sleep plays into this idea of small habits. Going to bed 30 minutes earlier doesn't sound life-changing, but when you do it every night, your stress hormones drop, your digestion improves, your metabolism resets, and weight loss becomes easier without any extra effort.
The real challenge is people look for dramatic solutions. They want extreme diets, hard workouts, or magic shortcuts because we've been conditioned to believe big results require big sacrifices. But after 40, extreme methods backfire. They cause burnout, hormonal imbalance, and frustration. Small habits are the only sustainable path because they respect the reality of your body, your responsibilities, and your long-term lifestyle. Something as small as walking 10 more minutes a day doesn't feel important, but when you do it every single day, it heads up to hours of fat-burning activity every week without feeling like a workout. Preparing your meals instead of relying on random food choices gives you control over calories and quality without restricting yourself. Eating more protein and fiber at each meal fills you faster, stabilizes blood sugar, and helps maintain muscle mass. Another small but powerful habit that dramatically affects your health. People overestimate what they can do in one day and underestimate what they can achieve in 3 months of consistent small actions. A few minutes of stretching in the morning, avoiding late-night heavy meals, keeping a few healthy snacks around, limiting sugary drinks, replacing fried items with grilled ones once or twice a week, these little things become the reason your body feels younger, lighter, stronger, and more energetic. Another overlooked small habit is awareness, simply paying attention to your body. Noticing when you're actually hungry versus emotional eating, understanding when stress is making you crave something, realizing that certain foods make you feel heavy or bloated, catching yourself when you're eating too fast. This awareness is a small mental shift, but it transforms your relationship with food. People who stay healthy after 40 don't have perfect routines. They have small habits they follow without pressure. They don't chase perfection, they chase consistency. They don't panic if they have a bad day, they return to their habits the next day. And this discipline, gentle, steady, realistic, is more powerful than anything extreme. Once you adopt the mindset that small habits matter, you start making choices that feel easy and natural instead of restrictive and exhausting. You start recognizing that your body responds to kindness more than punishment. You learn that moderation beats restriction. You understand that progress is not about doing everything right, but about doing the right things regularly. These small habits create momentum, and once momentum builds, results come faster than you expect. Your clothes feel lighter, your energy rises, your mood improves, and your confidence returns. Not because you changed your entire life overnight, but because you made small decisions repeatedly with patience and commitment.
Most people don't realize until much later in life that after 40, sleep and stress aren't just small parts of health. They become the foundation, the invisible engines that decide how your body feels, how much energy you have, how easily you lose weight, and how well your metabolism responds to even the best diet and exercise routine. You can eat clean, exercise daily, and drink all the water in the world, but if your sleep is poor and your stress levels are high, your progress feels slow, your body feels heavy, and your mind feels scattered. The reason is simple but powerful. Your hormones shift after 40, and those shifts make your body much more sensitive to rest and stress. When you sleep well, your metabolism becomes stronger, your hunger hormones stay balanced, your cravings decrease, your digestion works smoothly, and your muscles recover better. But when you sleep poorly, everything gets thrown off. Cortisol rises, hunger increases, fat storage gets triggered, especially around the belly, and your emotional resilience drops, making even simple daily tasks feel overwhelming. What people underestimate is how deeply lack of sleep affects their mood, their relationships, their choices, and even their discipline. A tired mind cannot make healthy decisions, and a stressed body cannot burn fat effectively. Even one night of poor sleep can create cravings for sugar and carbs the next day, because your brain is searching for quick energy. You might think you're eating out of hunger, but you're actually eating because your body is exhausted. This makes maintaining a healthy lifestyle much harder. But when you start improving your sleep, even in small, realistic ways, your entire routine becomes easier. You feel more motivated to walk, you feel more focused while cooking healthy meals,
You become more aware of what your body needs. You don't overeat out of tiredness. You're more patient with yourself and others. Good sleep is like a reset button, and after 40, your body needs that reset more than ever. Stress plays an equally deep role. After 40, life responsibilities increase, work pressure intensifies, children grow, finances become more serious, and the mind rarely gets a chance to settle. All of this accumulates quietly in the body. Stress hormones like cortisol make your body hold fat, increase inflammation, weaken digestion, tighten muscles, disturb sleep, and drain your energy. You may think you're just tired from work, but your body is actually fighting internal tension every day. This tension makes the heart beat faster, breathing shallow, sleep lighter, and food cravings stronger. It becomes a cycle. Stress causes poor sleep increases stress. Breaking this cycle is the key to staying healthy after 40, but it doesn't require dramatic methods. Small, daily practices make a huge difference. Something as tiny as 5 minutes of slow breathing before bed can lower your heart rate, relax your nervous system, reduce cortisol, and prepare your body for deep sleep. Stretching the back, hips, or legs for even a few minutes releases physical tension that has been building up throughout the day. People often believe stress management requires long meditation sessions or expensive routines, but the truth is much simpler. Your body reacts to small signals of safety. When you sit quietly for a few minutes without your phone, your mind softens. When you walk in nature, even for a short time, your stress drops. When you talk to someone you trust, your body relaxes. When you limit overthinking before bed, your sleep deepens. These small things look insignificant, but after 40, they are powerful tools because your body responds instantly to calmness and stability. Even the act of eating without rushing, chewing slowly, or sitting peacefully for 2 minutes after a meal improves digestion and reduces stress hormones. Routine becomes another major part of sleep and stress control. Your body loves patterns. When you go to bed around the same time every night, your mind starts to wind down naturally. When you wake up at the same time every morning, your hormones stay balanced. A predictable routine reduces stress automatically because your body knows what to expect. But when bedtime is constantly shifting, when screens are used late at night, when the mind is overstimulated, sleep becomes lighter and shorter. And the next day becomes harder before it even begins. Food also plays into this. Eating heavy, oily, or sugary meals late at night forces your digestion to work while you sleep, disrupting rest. Eating too little during the day can also trigger stress hormones. A balanced day of meals and a light dinner support better sleep because your body is not fighting to process food while trying to rest. Even caffeine sensitivity increases after 40. Coffee late in the afternoon may not keep you awake, but it can quietly reduce your sleep quality without you noticing. Being mindful of these patterns makes a huge difference. Another overlooked part of stress after 40 is emotional accumulation. You carry years of unspoken worries, responsibilities, regrets, expectations, and pressures. These emotions live in the body, in your shoulders, your chest, your breath. Releasing them doesn't require dramatic emotional sessions. Sometimes it just requires slowing down, acknowledging your feelings, taking small breaks, journaling, praying, breathing, or simply spending a few minutes alone without noise. These moments reduce emotional tension, which then improves physical tension, which then improves sleep. Movement is strongly connected to sleep and stress as well. A simple walk can regulate your mood, relax your mind, and improve your sleep quality. Light exercise reduces cortisol and increases hormones that promote calmness and happiness. So when you move your body, even in small ways, your mind becomes lighter. It's not just about physical fitness, it's about emotional release. Connection with people also matters more after 40. Loneliness increases stress and affects sleep. Talking to family, sharing feelings, laughing, or spending time with people who bring comfort releases oxytocin, a hormone that reduces stress naturally. Your social environment becomes part of your health routine. Technology and screens are another major factor. The blue light from phones, TVs, and computers confuses the brain, suppressing melatonin, the hormone that helps you sleep. Reducing screen time before bed is a small shift, but it can dramatically improve the quality of your rest. Replacing late-night scrolling with reading, conversation, or quiet time sends a message to your body that it's time to relax. The main thing to understand is that sleep and stress control are not luxuries. They are not optional. They are the foundation of staying healthy after 40. When you prioritize them, everything else becomes easier. Your metabolism, your mood, your focus, your discipline, your energy, and your overall well-being all improve naturally. The solutions are simple, gentle, realistic, and consistently effective.
The reality that most people come to understand after 40 is that the body no longer responds to extreme diets, harsh workouts, or sudden lifestyle overhauls the way it might have in earlier years. And this isn't a limitation. It's simply a sign that your body now values stability over shock, consistency over intensity, and sustainability over struggle. When you try to force your body with fast results or drastic changes, you end up fighting against your own hormones, stress levels, energy reserves, and recovery capacity. That's why people often say they tried a strict diet but couldn't maintain it, or they joined a tough workout program only to quit after a week, or they started something new with motivation but burned out quickly. These approaches don't fail because you're weak. They fail because they're not designed for the way a mature body thrives. Your metabolism, muscles, joints, and energy cycles now reward steady, gentle, repeated actions far more than sudden, intense efforts. And once you truly understand this, your entire mindset around fitness becomes lighter and more practical. You stop searching for shortcuts and start building habits that actually fit your life, your responsibilities, and your energy. Sustainable habits are the real secret of people who stay healthy after 40. They aren't doing crazy routines or obsessing over perfection. They pick habits that feel easy enough to stick with every day. And over time, these habits compound into big, visible results. Just imagine someone who tries to run 5 miles daily after years of inactivity. They might manage it for 2 days before injuries or exhaustion force them to stop. But if that same person starts with a 10-minute daily walk and gradually increases it, they can maintain it for months or years without burnout. The body responds beautifully to slow, steady progression because it feels safe, supported, and manageable. The same is true for eating habits. Crash dieting or starving yourself only slows your metabolism and increases cravings, while balanced meals and regular eating routines nurture the body into functioning better on its own. Even if the changes are small, a little more protein, a little less sugar, slightly smaller portions, the accumulated effect becomes powerful. Consistency becomes the backbone of transformation after 40. It's not about doing everything perfectly, it's about showing up regularly even if it's not your best day. A 10-minute workout done daily is more valuable than a 1-hour workout done once a week. Drinking enough water consistently supports more progress than chugging water randomly. Sleeping well most nights is more beneficial than oversleeping to make up for poor rest. This kind of stability is what your hormones, digestion, metabolism, and recovery systems respond to. When your habits are consistent, your body becomes more predictable, more cooperative, and more efficient. It's important to understand that your body is not your enemy. Many people, once they pass 40, start feeling frustrated by slower weight loss or increased fatigue, and they think they need harsher methods to compensate. But the truth is the opposite.
Your body is asking for kindness, patience, and supportive habits. When you nourish yourself, move regularly, manage stress with realistic methods, hydrate properly, sleep well most nights, and maintain a routine you can actually enjoy, your body reacts with more energy, better mood, better metabolism, and visible improvement in overall health. Extreme methods, on the other hand, only shock your system temporarily and eventually create setbacks. Sustainable habits also blend more naturally into daily life. Instead of thinking of health as a separate task that requires extra effort, you begin to weave it into your routine. Parking slightly farther to walk a bit more, taking the stairs when possible, eating a lighter dinner, cutting back on mindless snacking, doing short stretches while watching TV, choosing home-cooked meals more often than takeout. These don't feel like chores because they're natural adjustments, and yet they have real impact. When the habit is small, your mind doesn't resist it. When the habit is realistic, you feel proud of yourself for maintaining it. And when the habit feels doable, you're more likely to keep it going long-term. Another powerful aspect of sustainable habits is how they slowly change your identity. When you do something small every day, you start to see yourself as the kind of person who makes healthy choices. This shift in identity makes discipline easier because you're no longer acting out of pressure. You're acting out of alignment with how you see yourself. Someone who walks daily sees themselves as a person who moves. Someone who eats balanced meals sees themselves as someone who nourishes their body. This identity-based motivation is one of the strongest psychological forces for long-term change, especially after 40, when the body and mind crave stability. A sustainable approach also respects your emotional and mental health. Extreme routines often come with guilt, pressure, and frustration when you can't keep up. Sustainable habits remove that emotional burden. If you miss a day, it's easy to get back on track because your routine is gentle and not overwhelming. The journey becomes something you enjoy rather than something you force. You also become more connected to your own needs, noticing when you're tired, when you need rest, when you need more protein, when you need to stretch, when you need to hydrate, when you need emotional calm. This connection to your body creates a healthier, more trusting relationship with yourself. Sustainability also means flexibility. After 40, life is full of responsibilities: work, family, social commitments, personal obligations. A routine that requires 2 hours every day or strict meal plans isn't practical for most people. But a 10-minute workout, a walk after dinner, mindful eating, regular hydration, early sleep, and balanced meals are flexible enough to fit into almost any lifestyle. This flexibility is what keeps the routine alive long-term. Even your metabolism prefers sustainable habits. When you eat at regular times, your body becomes efficient at digestion and energy use. When you move a little throughout the day, your body stays active instead of slipping into long periods of inactivity. When you practice stress management consistently, your cortisol levels stabilize, allowing fat-burning hormones to work properly. When you sleep well consistently, your body repairs tissues, balances appetite hormones, and improves your overall energy. All these effects come not from extreme actions, but from small, steady choices done with intention. That's why people who adopt sustainable habits look younger, feel lighter, and move more easily. Their joints hurt less, their digestion improves, their energy rises, their skin looks better, their mindset becomes calmer, their confidence grows, and none of it comes from pushing themselves to the limit. It comes from respecting their body enough to make choices that build them up instead of tearing them down. The beauty of sustainable habits is that they don't rely on motivation. Motivation comes and goes, but habits stay. When something is sustainable, you don't need to feel energetic or inspired to do it. You just do it because it's part of your lifestyle. And that's what makes long-term transformation not only possible, but enjoyable.